Hey, what's going on, guys? You're watching the RathCo Gaming Channel. I'm your host, Robert Rath, and got a bit of a cold, but I'm still here, and this is RathCo Chat. Now, from what I've been reading online, I know that everybody's going crazy about what happened involving that ICE agent and getting hit and a woman being shot, and may God watch over their souls of people who have passed away. You know, I feel awful for that woman, and may she rest in peace, but I'm not going to comment one way or the other on who's right and who's wrong in that situation. All I know is it could have been easily prevented had she just listened. And maybe the ICE agents should have listened as well. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say. The only thing I will say is that I'm sorry that someone had to die. That's the only thing I'm going to say on that matter. The other thing I want to talk about, I've noticed a lot of going around online, is government cover-ups. Okay, so in my opinion, I believe in a somewhat free flow of information, but you got to ask yourself, oh, excuse me. You got to ask yourself, should all people know absolutely everything that there is to know, everything the government knows? And I think no, we shouldn't, because the individual person might be smart and very intelligent. I consider myself reasonably intelligent. But as a group, people panic, and panic causes other hazards to arise, even the loss of life. I believe that the government keeps things from us because they fear that more problems will arise from the information being, basically, they think that open knowledge in certain cases is a bad thing because it would cause people to panic, and it would cause people to act irrationally and without thinking. When you're panicked, when any human being experiences panic, you lose the ability to organize your thoughts. You lose the ability to plan clearly. Exception for those who are trained in the military, because a lot of people are trained to ignore stress and to ignore stressful situations and to know what to do. But the average citizen, the average civilian, how do we know? You know, an average person may not know how to handle stress. So a free flow of information could be very dangerous. Now, there are conspiracy theorists that believe that the government only hides things from us for malicious purposes. And I can't say whether or not, I'm kind of neutral when it comes to the government, you know. Do I have theories that the government does hide things from us that we should know? Yes. Can I prove it? No. Obviously not. But maybe someone should be appointed to decide what people know and don't know. Because it is very difficult to keep the lid on certain information. And I just realized I gotta work on my beard a little bit. But anyways, like I said, it's very difficult. Maybe it's just the camera. It's very difficult to maintain a free flow of information that all 100% of American citizens would say, you know what? Good job. That's what we need to know. Because even if the government told us everything, some of us would still believe that they're hiding things. It's just, curiosity is a way of human life. Human beings are always going to be curious. They say curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity might kill the person. But it's 2026, you know? And with all the issues that we have at hand, maybe conspiracy theorists have a good point. They have something to focus on, is what I'm saying, to keep them from panicking. Because in the past, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the government has created racial tension and things of that nature to distract people from the real threats, the real emergencies, the real information that we should know. The government will try to distract people as a whole from that information. And again, in some cases, maybe they're right in doing that. Maybe they believe that we're too panicky to really know the truth, to really know what's going on. But again, it's hard to say who should know what. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it's difficult to know right from wrong in this world, especially nowadays. What's the right thing to do? And I believe that some people get too hung up on it, and that's why there isn't a free flow of information in this country. We know what we're meant to know. is what you would be told. And we hear a lot of colorful words such as redacted, such as information, free flow, civilian rights, the Constitution. You hear a lot of these words mentioned when it comes to conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theories themselves and how people perceive them, who believes them, who doesn't believe them. And I personally, I believe that there are conspiracy theories, but I believe that most of them are probably not true. However, it is scary because in the past, we all know when MK Ultra came out, we all know that there are those within government that would not think twice about things like torture to get the information that we need. But that's another tough concept because I'm sure that through torture and through very inhuman classified means of extracting information, maybe there was no other way. You know, when you're faced with an enemy that would think nothing of coming over here and killing as many Americans as possible, just because that's what they believe, just because they believe that their crazy ideas about human life and destroying human life are true, either because they've been brainwashed or because they have some kind of delusion that they believe that taking us out will change something in this world. And again, it's tough to say, but when you're faced with that type of enemy, sometimes they probably figure they have to be just as ruthless as the people that we're fighting against. Again, it's only a theory. Please do not take my words literally. Everything I'm saying is just theory. You know what I mean? I'm saying this could be the truth. This could be what's happening. I also believe that without a government, we would all be fucked. Excuse my language, but this country would be in turmoil without government. I do believe it would be good if government and civilian would work a little bit better together toward common goals. You know, we all want a safe country. We all want to protect our borders. We all want to do what's best for the country. And personally, you know, I'm not going to express any political views, but I think our president, President Trump, I think is doing a really great job. Now, like I said, I don't get into politics. I am a voter. But I don't become enraged with my political views. You know what I mean? I believe that everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, and everyone is entitled to vote for and support whom they choose to support. And I feel that way because that's part of the fabric that made this country, in my opinion. We have the right to free speech. We have the right to express our own opinions without feeling persecution. You know, there are groups in the world that persecute people for their beliefs. And it's not, some people would jump to third world countries. No, it's not only third world countries. I'm sure it's developed countries as well. There are different forms of government. There's communism, there's monarchy, there's democracy. Now, like I said, I don't know a lot about politics. All I know is that each type of government has a different system. Like a monarchy has a king and queen, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the extent of my political knowledge. The reason I'm talking about this stuff on RathCo Chat is just because it's all things that pop into my head that I want to share my opinion about. I'm not trying to make anyone believe that the government is good or bad. I'm not trying to make anyone believe anything like that. I do believe that most of the government is just a group of people trying to do their very best to make the best country that they can. And that's, when it comes right down to it, that's what I think our government does. At the core of the government, when you pick out the corrupt people that we don't even know about, because in every walk of life there's corruption. But I think that the government, bare bones government, the reason that the government exists is to protect the people. However, these days it's really tough to actually believe that that's the truth. But we may never know the truth, folks. We may never, and we probably never will. not in our lifetimes anyway. Not in our lifetimes. As for me, I've been all right. Angel's still taking up my entire bed. She likes the spot up at the top of my bed where my pillow is. As for the RathCo Gaming Channel, I've been working on 7 Days to Die. You folks know I've got Surrounded gameplay and Dead Island gameplay. Those have both been doing pretty damn good. It seems like a lot of people like the Surrounded gameplay and not the Dead Island gameplay, but my opinion, if one of my videos is good, is if it gets over 10 views. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I don't create content for the views. I create content because I enjoy it, and because, like I said before, if even one person enjoys my videos, to me that's a plus. That's a big deal for me. Even a single person enjoying my content, because every single person counts, in my opinion. Whether I have 1 view or 10 billion views, to me it doesn't matter, because each individual person, each view is important to me. That person is important to me. If only the government worked the same way. But like I said, these are my opinions. These are not facts. I mean, maybe if we knew everything there was to know, some of it would be facts. Maybe I'm guessing right about certain things, but I honestly don't know. The weather for Buffalo is really strange. Okay, so I've heard that Hawaii got 10 inches of snow. I'm not 100% sure if this is true or not. I also believe that I don't think that Hawaii gets snow very often, if at all. This might be a first for snow in Hawaii. I'm not sure, though. Unfortunately, I've never been there. I would love to visit Hawaii. But I know that our lakes and streams have not frozen over in most of, if I'm not mistaken, it might be most of the country. Our lakes and streams have not froze over. So we've been getting a lot of snow, but now it's sunny out. Like, the weather is so very strange. It'll snow for 3 or 4 hours, and then the sun will come out. I mean, the temperature won't come up. Like, it's not like going from winter to summer, thank God, because if the weather did that, we'd have flooding, we'd have all kinds of issues. But I've been noticing some of the lakes and streams around Buffalo have been rising pretty steadily, which goes to, obviously it's going to rise because all that ice. The last time I went by, I believe it was the Buffalo River, there was so much ice built up that there were mounds in certain spots along the shoreline. And, I mean, it's like that every year, but usually it freezes over, and then you have the ice around August. Or not, oh my God. Rob, get a hold of yourself. We usually have the ice around February or March. Now we have it in January, and now the sun is coming out. We've got a little bit of snow will melt, create ice. It just creates really hazardous conditions. I have a Chevy Silverado 2013 1500 pickup, and it does pretty well in the snow and ice, but even in four-wheel drive, I'm sliding at certain spots. Like, if I come to a stop too quick, four-wheel drive does not prevent you from sliding, so I would like to just say to all my fans that are local, please be careful, folks, when you're driving. Please don't speed. It's not worth putting your life at risk and other people's lives at risk, so please just be careful. If you're not going to do it for those around you, do it for yourself. Always remember to wear your seatbelt. Always remember to obey the traffic laws. Even if they aggravate you a little bit, just count to 10. Say, if I make the wrong choice here, it could cost me my life. If I have my children in the car, it could cost their lives. I think that people make mistakes because when you've got snap decisions to make, you may not think them all the way through. Either because you feel that you don't have time or you feel that there isn't time. But please, make sure you think these things through because they are vitally important to your life as well as people around you. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to like and subscribe, turning on all notifications for RathCo Gaming. I consider each and every one of you a member of the RathCo family of gamers and friends. You all have my love, support, and respect, as I certainly hope I have yours. And again, each and every one of you, thank you very, very much. Give you the virtual fist bump. You guys are awesome. RathCo would be nothing without each and every one of you, and I hope that you're having a fun and happy new year. That being said, I will see you next time. My hat is off to you. Take care. Don't get bit. Watch out for umbrella. Watch out for zombies. Take care now.